On June 9th, 2017, Bandai Namco announced a new 2.5D anime-style fighting game to be released in early 2018 for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Steam. Developed by Arc System Works, the same company responsible for the Supersonic Warrior games, Extreme Butoden, and a few more anime fighters you might remember, the game would be titled Dragon Ball FighterZ.
The Dragon Ball fandom at large erupted at this announcement, with the promotional material displaying gorgeous cel-shaded graphics and a classic Arc-style fighting engine that emphasized speed, combos, and a 3-on-3 tag team system. This would be the first console-based traditional fighter for Dragon Ball since Infinite World back in 2008.
The initial roster included Goku, Vegeta, Frieza, Cell, Gohan, and Buu. But quickly, characters would add up, and we'd even be introduced to a new character designed by Toriyama himself, Android 21. Ostensibly the villain of the game and researcher for the Red Ribbon Army, with an intelligence that, quote, rivals that of Dr. Ghetto.
This game could not be included in the list proper, as while we have indeed played the game, it has yet to be released as a finished product. But we're just gonna flat out say this. If this game had already been released this year, it almost certainly would have made the top 3, if not number 1.
Something we mentioned with Super Dragon Ball Z was the idea of making a fighting game first, and a Dragon Ball Z game second. I'll be the first to admit that Super DBZ skewed much more toward the former than the latter, and for many fans, that was to its detriment. But ArcSys seems dead set on giving you a full, balanced measure of both.
And we're not talking teaspoons. We've got gallon jugs on the scale here, with the most fluid and intuitive controls I've ever handled for a Dragon Ball game, and a speed that is frankly unmatched by the rest of its predecessors. I've personally always mused the idea of a Marvel vs. Capcom style Dragon Ball game, and ArcSys has given me all that and more.
The controls feature 3 primary attack buttons, 1 unique action button, and 2 assists. You can fire key or special moves that use meter, rush down people with a super dash, use vanish attack to teleport behind your opponent, and when you're in a pinch, you use your sparking blast to regain blue health bar and power up your character. And this is really dumbing it down for the sake of not getting too technical.
Not that the system itself is greatly complicated. In fact, ArcSys knew exactly what they were doing in the development of this title, considering the fan base involved. While Dragon Ball has had a plethora of traditional fighting games, almost none of them feature intensely technical mechanics.
There's a simple universal combo that can be used by every character, and the control scheme is simple to learn. But each character is specialized in different ways, some greater and some slighter than the other, to vary up the build of your 3-character team. So you can stack offense or defense, or go for a more balanced breakfast.
And once you're learning character-specific combos and mastering mechanics, you'll find a surprising amount of depth. It's incredibly easy to pick up, but offers you a whole world of terrific and varied gameplay, unlike any Dragon Ball game before it. But it's not just the controls that get our mouths watering.
They say you eat first with your eyes. Well, friends, you better have a second stomach for these insane graphics. ArcSys has mastered the Unreal Engine's ability to offer what may arguably be some of the best cel shading of the entire industry, rivaling the Ninja Storm games from CyberConnect 2. Each character is beautifully rendered and supported by spectacular effects work.
But even more impressive is their attention to detail. Almost every single move these characters make is lifted directly from the manga and anime, recreating their techniques and poses with astounding accuracy. It's mind-blowing just how far they go. And recently, they even announced cinematic dramatic finishers if certain requirements are met. They're insane. And did we even mention the destructible environments?
It's gotta be mentioned the buzz this game has made in the fighting game community. For the first time, I'm pretty sure ever, a Dragon Ball game is being considered for competitive play. For those of you unfamiliar with that, this is basically unheard of. Because as I said before, Dragon Ball fighting games are almost always Dragon Ball games first, and fighting games way second.
It's gotten some of the biggest names in the community not only curious about it, but guys like Maximilian Dude going balls to the wall with coverage of the game, and even getting into the series proper for the first time because of it. And apparently, he's even watched some DBZA.
It can't be overstated how well this game balances its remarkable graphics with addictive and intensely enjoyable gameplay. Both of them giving you a Dragon Ball experience unlike any other. While the arena fighters try to give you the experience of playing the anime, and there's always going to be a market for that, this game feels like the peak of traditional Dragon Ball fighters in every way. But we'll have to see how things pan out when it finally drops in, oh shit, January? Oh man, I could be dead by then!
It's definitely possible for them to drop the 4-star ball in between now and the release date. The official announcement for their Shenron system, which allows characters to collect Dragon Balls during combat by inputting specific combos and unlocking a game-changing wish in the middle of battle once they've collected them, could end up being a blessing or a curse for this game, depending on its implementation.
And who knows whether or not its single-player story mode will hold up. Original stories in Dragon Ball games have rarely thrilled the audience much. Of course, we'll definitely be checking in on the second beta when it starts in January, and you can expect a full playthrough from us when the game proper is in our hands.
But what we do know is that our excitement for a Dragon Ball game has never been higher, and we were in Xenoverse 1 and 2. We can't wait to get our hands on this game proper and share it with the world. But we all agree FighterZ is a silly name, right?
Oh yeah, totally. But absurd names are kinda what ArcSys is all about.
You mean absurd names?
That pun just calamity triggered me.
Oh, come on guys, bring it down a rebel.